This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Postgame reviews, this the place to tune in. Tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. And ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in 25 years, 24 years, 25 years, whatever it is, the Knicks are in the Eastern Conference Finals with a chance to advance to the NBA Finals. Of course, we got the Indiana Pacers in front of us that we got to worry about. But right now, it's just time to celebrate. You know what I mean? It's time to celebrate. And we did it. We did it in the best fashion possible by demolishing the Boston Celtics. Demolished them. We did it in the best fashion possible. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Tony Crow. We got Ron from Still Knicks Fans. Of course, myself. Tony, what's popping with you, brother? How you feeling, man? I mean, how are you? Got to be feeling beautiful.
This was a long day, but it was a good night.
Word up.
You know what I'm saying?
Baby.
Shout out to the Queen. She always talks about the Knicks leaving meat on the bone. We ain't leave no meat on the bone tonight.
Not tonight.
You know what I mean? We was eating tonight. We didn't leave no leftovers, no snacks, no dessert. Man, this is how you close out a series. We finally got one at home. Close out a series at home, which we couldn't do for the last couple of years. That's what was on my mind for the last couple of podcasts. You know what I mean? Before we even got into this situation, I wanted us to do it on the road because I knew what our record was at home. So to do that, man, things is looking bright. There's a lot of bandwagoners. People talking about the Knicks like they've been saying what they saying right now, and they wasn't.
Right.
Come on, let's talk about
it. Ron, talk to us, man. Tell us how you feeling. Come on, baby.
Oh man, I'm just so excited, bro. I'm this is a long time coming, and just having to deal with everything that's gone on with this Knick team. Like this Knick team, it's been a process. It's been years to get here. And there's been steps, and each year it's been an improvement, man. But there's been certain things that held them back, and a lot of times it's injuries. It's not the style of play. It's not the coach. We want to blame Tibbs for certain things, but let's be real. The Knicks have had injuries. They've always had something that's been blocking their ascension. This year, is it a coincidence that this year we've been the, knock on wood, most healthy ever, and we're making it to the Eastern Conference Finals? I mean, I don't know. You tell me. It's about time. Stand up, New York. Let's go, baby.
You know what I mean? I heard him saying a telecast. Boston fans are probably looking and saying, "Look, you guys just made it past the second round." But we haven't done it since 2000. So of course we're gonna celebrate like this. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna celebrate like this because. What are you gonna say, man? Just an all-around great game from the beginning to the end. They played like
that's the best part about
it. They played like their backs were against the wall.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And they knew what they came to do, and they knew what they had to do. They demolished them 119-81. I think the biggest maybe 41 points. And they just dominated all aspects of the game. And there was nothing the Celtics could do. I think the Celtics figured out early, at least after the first half, they figured out, you know what? We're not beating this team.
That's the best part, sir. when the other team recognizes,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Like, so now there's no resistance at that point.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like at that point, there's literally no resistance. And when you see that, I mean, nicks and bruises, we've seen that over the years.
Right.
We've seen that in games over the years. So
Right.
to see that from a reigning champion, you know what I mean? Like you said, the Celtics fans saying, "Oh, you guys are acting like you won a championship." No, we acting like we beat the champions.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Let's be real.
It's just it's a great feeling. You know what I'm saying? And to just look at this team, a lot of people were nervous after the last game. Some people weren't.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people were a little bit nervous after the last game because, if any team could allow a team to come back and win the series with the best player down, if any franchise, let me not say team, if any franchise, if that was going to happen to a franchise, the Knicks would be the franchise that it happened to, right? But this team said it's not happening to this team. It's not happening to us. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, there were a lot of people nervous about how, because, you're not always sure how the team is going to come out, especially in the playoffs, because there's adjustments made in this and that. But they came out like they wasn't losing this game. It came out like, okay, we played long enough. Let's just flex our muscle with this team and take care of business and handle it the way we know how to handle it. Everybody was laser focused. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, they just demolished the Celtics tonight. Demolished the Celtics.
It's a beautiful thing. Hey, and the thing is, I was watching the game, and in the first half, I was thinking there might be some fans that looked at last game, looked at Brunson fouling out, look at them waving to the crowd, and they're like, "Yeah, Brunson's ready. We can't wait to see the next game to see what he does." And they might have been saying, "Man, for all that, I thought Brunson was going to come out and do some things." But some people didn't realize it wasn't necessarily about what Brunson was going to do. It was the energy of the team. Like everything that happened in that game it wasn't a wake-up call. It was a wait till we get back to New York call. That's what that was. And it showed from out the gate. I was so happy to see this had to be, I could be wrong, but I think this had to be the best Knicks defensive intensity I've seen all year for that long of a spell, for like 3 quarters, like in their face, like scrambling everywhere. Like this was the Knicks wanted this one for real. I'm so happy.
Sound like you describing Mitchell Robinson on a certain play, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Hey,
Big Mitch.
This team knew they couldn't lose this game at home. You know what I mean? And they couldn't. There couldn't be a chance that they could go back to Boston and lose a game. They knew it. You know what I mean? And we talked about the focus of this team, though. They're laser focused. I mean, they are laser focused, and now they see a path, and it looks like they're intent to walk down it without anything getting in the way. You know what I mean? They see the path, and they just seem ready. They just seem focused. Tibbs has them ready. Tibbs has them focused. You know what I'm saying? He has them prepared, and everybody's on board. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's on board. It's an amazing season, ladies and gentlemen. It's an amazing season for the Knicks right now. Obviously the best season that we've had 2 decades. 2 decades. How important is this win for the franchise? Ron, how important is this win for the franchise?
This might be the first time in this road of the Knicks turning everything around. Everything that they've planned on doing to give the Knicks a facelift, give the organization new buzz. Everybody knows everything that's been said about the Knicks. The best players in the league have helped run the narrative. Oh, the Knicks ain't sexy. It's not exciting over there. It's not fun. That they ain't it. Well, all the organization has done is try to revamp everything, get you star-studded players that cover every gambit of basketball, young guys that can be in their prime that they can grow with. They brought you good leadership. Tibbs has been here holding it down for all this time. They make smart decisions. Oh, we're getting hurt all the time. Let's go out and get one of the best trainers in basketball. You know, they just they're doing the steps and the different things that need to be done. We have a bad media perception. Let's go get some young hip media personalities to rep the team. Let's do a lot of ads and put guys in clothing that everybody can gravitate to. All of this is just steps of revamping what this organization has looked like and what it's perceived to be to, you know, the rest of the public. And then the last piece of all of that is just getting out there on the court and winning. And that's what we're doing. Could you imagine it all coming together? We go into the ECF in a year where, even though we thought we were contenders, not everybody was sold that it would happen so quickly that we'd be able to get this far in this first year. We were thinking maybe next year is the year, but this year we're already doing it.
I wasn't sold that we would be, you know, we're not in the championship yet, but you know, I've been on record saying that I don't believe it's a championship roster. I've been on record saying that, but now you see the path to the championship. You know what I'm saying? I was one of those people that felt to get to the Eastern Conference Finals, we probably needed the right matchups or whatever. You know,
things just, Tim, you need a little. You got to play, but you need a little luck, and the luck is starting to work out in our favor.
You need a little luck. You know, you need. This team plays without. I was listening to Perk yesterday, and he kept talking about teams in the playoffs. He kept talking about teams that are playing agenda-less basketball, not genderless basketball.
Yeah, agenda.
Less basketball.
I know it messed me up a couple times when I heard it. Like, wait, what is this? What? I see it.
A couple of times I was like, what is he saying? But yeah, agenda-less basketball. And the Knicks are one of those teams playing with no agendas. So no players like, oh, I need to be the MVP of the series. I need to be the MVP of the playoffs. You know what I mean? No, it's wherever we have to get in is where we're fitting in.
I need to take 10 threes.
Right. You know what I'm saying? No one's worried about being the leading scorer, the leading rebounder, the leading assist maker. It's whatever we've got to do. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a great mentality for this team. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like they know that their legacies will be built on winning, not their individual accolades. I mean, you know, Brunson's, you know, now been an All-NBA player probably twice. Karl Anthony Towns been an All-NBA player. They've both been on the All-Star team. You know, they haven't won MVP, either one of them, but one of these days they'll be in the discussion. You know what I'm saying? But what's going to set their legacy is winning the championship. If they can win the championship in New York, you know what I'm saying? Now, you know, that's a legacy above everything else. And I think they understand that.
I think you may be right, Sim. And it's crazy. And then I'll kick it over to Tony. I'm surprised. I don't even know why people are the way they're even coming with this already. They're already talking about like how good is Brunson in New York. And then people are like, yo, he's good already. Like if he wins a championship, that's gravy. Some people are like, he's already the man here. He's already shown enough. I mean, he is one of the best scorers in the playoffs, right? I mean, he's in the Kobe list with Jordan and Kobe. Like, I mean, you got to give the man his props. His fourth quarter scoring has been incredible. I mean, and the fact that he has put this team on his back, even when the team wasn't his. When he came over here, it was Julius Randle's team. And we knew instantly once Brunson started going, it was his team. And Randle fit right in. And same thing with Cat. Like these guys have been saying all the right things all year. The only thing is their play hasn't caught up to their mentality. They've been saying, yeah, you know, Captain Brunson, we run with him, you know, whatever he needs, we're here for it. But it's just that we overall as a team just hadn't found our gel. We hadn't locked in yet. So where people could look at it and say, okay, now we see it and it looks that way. Now they're at that point where people are just filling in their roles. And the Knicks have finally learned how to play with one another, the starting five out there on the court, like how to use each piece, still play good defense, and make up for the discrepancies in defense. Like they figured out how to play good defense, even with people that struggle at defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and they've done it, just so much on the fly. Because this whole season they've been learning each other, and going through these ups and downs. You know what I mean? Because they're figuring out how to play, and it's like now in the playoffs, it's like the pressure made them put everything else aside and just figure out how to play for each other.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Tony, the importance of this win for the franchise, man. Then I'm gonna get to the phone call. We got Silk on the line.
Similar to what Ron said, I think it's more about the regime, the current regime, than it is the franchise. As we know, the Knicks are gonna be loved by us fans no matter what. We done withstood all the Knicks and bruises, right? All the bad years, and so we still support it. We still went to games. We still bought the merch. We still was doing the shows. You know what I mean? Like, so, but the regime, they're proving themselves along with the players, along with the coach. You know what I mean? Like everybody is really like carving their name in that Knicks legacy. So for the regime, I think what they mean to the organization is they're cementing their stuff. You know what I mean? Like Brunson, of course, that like Ron was saying, but not just them, the front office, the coach, like everybody is rising the rankings of Knicks history and what we have done. You know what I mean? So all these records that Brunson is breaking, the coach is moving up the rankings too. You know what I mean? The front office is getting recognized as well. So I think it's more about the current regime and how they changed the narrative, turned it around, and that is like priceless. Like other organizations are gonna model after the Knicks, and I'm sure the Knicks took little things from other organizations over the years, but yeah, they've done a phenomenal job. So I think it's about the current regime more than anything.
Okay, and the regime has brought stability. You know what I mean? And I think that goes a long way. The regime and Coach Tibbs has brought stability to the team. There's not this crazy change. We had new players this year, but your core. You built upon the core, so it's not like this crazy changeover play. Like Melo had mad players play with him.
Can I say something real quick, son? Even though Mitchell Robinson's our longest tenured Knick, everybody who's been here during the past, during the span, was nurtured during that time. You know what I mean? Like even if they're not here anymore, because obviously Mitchell's the only one still here. They've grown while they were saying, and then they've continued to grow when they left here. So to me, that's even a you know what I mean, something you got to look at the front office as being a part of. You know what I mean? Like, so even if they didn't make it here, they still out there doing their thing, getting better. You know what I mean? Like, and I think the Knicks, this current regime, helped them to that path.
Yeah, it's no doubt about it. This current regime, has been they've been amazing. To be honest with you, in the way that they've taken steps to build the team. Made small maneuvers on the back end that prepare you for bigger maneuvers later on. You know what I'm saying? Not always jumping at the big fish that's out there. Being smart with how much you're willing to pay for this player, that player. Like they've done a really, they've just done a great job in preparing and setting this team up. Now I see Sean Richardson, itching for some attention. You know, oh, Sim said it was a championship. Sean, I already said that. I don't know how many times you're gonna, you know, I already said that. I'm not afraid to be wrong.
Especially when it's a good wrong.
Right. Exactly. Especially when it's this, like, who cares?
Right. Oh,
What do you
before you get to Silk, Sim, let me listen, guys. I don't know what y'all are on, man. That you guys should understand that we are in a great moment right now. We are Knicks fans watching our Knicks do something we haven't seen them do. Some of y'all haven't seen them do it ever. At least I've seen them get somewhere. Y'all, some of y'all haven't seen anything, and y'all talking like y'all talking because you don't know much. But could we just be positive and enjoy what's going on as a fan base? Our Knicks are out there. They made a convincing win tonight. They got busy. They go into the Eastern Conference Finals after knocking off the Boston Celtics. Legitimately, prior to Tatum, we would go into 3-1 with Tatum on the court. So let's enjoy this, man. Some of y'all is wilding, bro. And plus the whole Tibbs thing. We all feel a certain way about Tibbs, but we rock with Tibbs. And just so you know, if you watch the content and you listen, because that's the thing, you got to listen. And I know who you are. You in the chat. I think you probably changed your name because I probably banned you last time, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I said that if the Detroit Pistons knock out the Knicks, I think Tibbs should be fired. I stand by that. I said that if the Knicks beat the Pistons and get swept by Boston, I think Tibbs should be fired. And I stand by that. But the Knicks beat the Pistons. The Knicks beat Boston. They didn't get swept and didn't stand up for their team like they did, in the regular season because they weren't ready yet. So I have no problem with Tibbs. The team worked with Tibbs and made the adjustment. So come on, man, kumbaya. Let's all shed love.
Yeah, and we're gonna talk about do a quick evaluation of Tibbs and evaluation of the players in these playoffs so far. You know what I mean? Because I've been rocking with Tibbs. And people would
Simido, right?
Simido. I've been rocking with Tibbs. Because I believe in his philosophy and the way that he coaches and what he does. You know what I mean? I've been rocking with him. People, oh, you're paid by MSG. Okay.
Where them checks at?
Right. You know what I'm saying? I wish I would see them chest grease in my pockets. Silk, what's popping with you, brother? How you feeling?
What up, fellas? Sam, Tony, Big Ron, what's up?
Chilling, man. Feeling great.
Feeling good, man.
Y'all guys gonna laugh at this. I was with one of my boys who was a Knicks fan when Patrick Ewing played for the Jamaican book. As soon as Patrick Ewing left, he became a Knicks hater, yo. And I was in the bar with him Wednesday when we got blown out in Boston, and he kept saying Tibbs sucked. I'm like, okay, so now when I ain't heard from you from a week, that Tibbs, when we up 2-0, I ain't hear no Tibbs suck stuff. When we up 2-1, I ain't hear no Tibbs suck stuff. But now because we got blown out in Boston, Tibbs sucked because Towns not in the paint, or he a little guard. That ain't Tibbs' fault. So I say, bet me $20, no Game 7. I ain't saying who's going to win Game 7. Bet me $20, no Game 7. Because one thing about Tibbs, he's not the greatest in-game changer, but you get that mofo a day to look at tape and film and one star to stop, he going to stop that one star. Now, if Tatum was there and there's 2 stars, that's something different. But you give that boy one day and one star to stop, he going to stop that one star. I ain't think a blowout, but I said we ain't losing Game 6. Because Jalen Bobby Brown, that's what I call him, Jalen Bobby Brown is not going to do that to us again. Not in the post. Because Tim's going to make sure OG going to be in front of that dude. It ain't going to be Brunson. It's going to be OG in front of that dude. If somebody else beat us besides D. White from 3, that's going to happen. He going to make sure anybody else, we're going to cheat on Bobby Brown, but D. White. And that's what happened. D. White had somebody in his face all game. He shot terrible. OG kept coming around on curls. Make sure, even though he got by him a little bit, he was there for 3 damn blocks.
Mm-hmm.
And he made sure Jaylen Brown was not beating him in the paint again against Brunson. They're going to be against OG.
Yeah, and let me tell you, I seen our bigs do one of the best jobs guarding the perimeter that I've seen. Mitch, guarding smaller guys on the perimeter, and Cat guarding smaller guys on the perimeter. I hadn't seen them play this season, especially Cat, because he's new to first time I'm really just being able to watch him play all 82 games. But we've seen Mitch be able to guard on the perimeter, but tonight I seen the guys do it with like a renewed energy. You know what I'm saying? Just knowing like I can't get beat. You know what I'm saying? I can't get beat. The defense that we played tonight was just, lockdown, obviously. What they scored, 81 points. That's what they scored. Just lockdown defense. You know what I mean? And they couldn't handle it.
The female announcer who hates the Knicks was praising Mitch. Mitch went over here. Mitch went over there. Mitch coming back here. Mitch got over. She was praising Mitch. And she don't like the Knicks for nothing. She don't give Knicks no praise. But she was praising Mitch on that one play where he went from A to B to C to D, back to Jaylen Brown, stole the ball, and got out. Mitch was all over the place tonight. Mazzulla gonna have nightmares about Mitch. I'm like, damn, couldn't he even stay hurt and not be in this playoff series? Mazzulla's gonna have nightmares about Mitchell Robinson.
Hey, I told y'all from game one they was scared of Mitch.
Boston is grabbing him up.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Mitch definitely, there were a lot of questions earlier in the season as to whether Mitchell Robinson his presence could change the defense. But we've seen it in these playoffs, especially against Boston, right? We've seen how his presence on the floor, his length, his ability to rebound, has been able to really help change the Knicks defense. You know what I'm saying? And then, on a night like tonight, when the offense is clicking, and then you got a guy like Mitchell Robinson, gobbling up rebounds, making big defensive plays, makes it a tough team to beat. The Knicks shot the ball well tonight, 46% from the field, only 35% from the three-point line, which, isn't terrible. But the defense that they were able to play, Mitchell Robinson tonight, he only had 4 rebounds tonight. But he had some big rebounds.
It's his presence.
His presence inside, though.
And he only played 13 minutes.
What's his plus minus?
That's why he only had 4 rebounds. Everybody else.
Well, I honestly, a 30-point game, it don't matter.
Yeah. Plus minus is a 20. But everybody's got a strong.
I was gonna say almost 40-point win. It don't matter.
Everybody's got a strong plus minus tonight.
Oh,
let me check out a question. I know I'm counting my money a little bit. If we somehow get past the Pacers,
we're not doing that.
My boys were having an argument. Who would you rather play? OKC, Denver, or Randall?
Man, I'm just focused on the Pacers.
That's right. We're not doing that.
I know.
We just gotta focus on the Pacers. So we gotta focus only on the Pacers. We can't look at that. The Pacers are a good basketball team.
We want to play whoever's in front of us. Whoever beat the other team, that's who we want to play.
Yeah.
All right. So I thought my mind going skipping. I'm leaving that alone.
Yeah.
Because somebody said I should be scared of Toppin. Well, I'm scared of Toppin. I gotta be scared of Toppin now. Oh, Toppin coming to town. I gotta be scared of Toppin. Come on, man. I ain't scared of Toppin. But the whole team is good. But I'm worried right now because you see with Tibbs right now, there was no Cam sighting, and I don't think gonna be a Cam sighting in the next series. We run against the Pacers with 7. The starting 5, Deuce,
Silk,
and Mitch. We need somebody else off that bench.
Hey, Silk. The only thing that I can say right now, and yes, Sean, yes, Greg, I'm defending Tibbs again. I can't argue with them because we're in the Eastern Conference Finals.
I got you.
We beat.
But the Pacers run us up.
I get that.
We ain't Pacers team that would like to run like the Pacers.
I understand.
Boston don't like to run.
Yo, I definitely understand
Detroit
that.
don't like to run.
But let's look at the flip side. Have they played against a defense like we have presented in this series? We had a couple of nights where we didn't play great defense, but have they played against a team like us in these playoffs?
Thank you.
I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? You know, I know we're worried about them running and all of that. And this is going to be a long series, and they're going to have some nights where they do that. But the Knicks are going to have some nights where maybe they shut them down too, because we've seen this team. I mean, with Jason Tatum, we've seen the Knicks shut down the Celtics. Maybe the best team in the Eastern Conference at that point in time.
And if Cat plays like this, I don't see how they couldn't handle Cat in the regular season. I don't see them really handling Cat. Now, I just feel like we need an eighth guy. We don't need 9 or 10, but we need an eighth guy. If it be a little bit of Precious or somebody, Chambers, apparently Tim said, and Cam.
I mean, I get it, but at this point, I mean, I'm just telling you, Tibbs isn't going to change what's been working. It's been working. I don't think he's going to change it. I agree. You could use those guys, you know what I'm saying, because the Pacers like to play fast, but what if the Knicks are able to slow them down? I just don't think Tibbs is going to. I think Tibbs is going to enter the series and say, "Here's what we do, and let's see what happens." And then we'll have to, then we'll change if we have to.
I think if anybody sees minutes, it's Precious, and that's just because he'd been through the series with them last year. You know what I mean? Like even though he hasn't played much, I could see Precious playing. He's familiar with Siakam, so that could be a matchup for him, and I think he played them well last year as well. So I that's the only guy I could see Tibbs kind of inserting in this series. Unless we up 30 with 5 minutes.
Yeah. And I'm gonna be out on this one, fellas. One thing I liked about tonight's game, everybody thought after Brunson fouling out, Brunson waving to the Boston fans, that Brunson's gonna be a one man. I'm a bust y'all and close this out game. And Brunson stood back, had like only 2 points in the first quarter. Let Mikal eat, let Towns eat. Tried to make OG eat, but he was missing them threes. But then he said, "All right, we up by 10 now. Let me start cooking." I like the fact that Brunson laid back in the first quarter and wasn't trying to go ISO crazy on Brown, who he didn't probably like how he was flopping to get them fouls on him in the game 5. So I like that part of that plan. Feed Cat. If they got double team Fat, feed Bridges, try to feed OG, and then take over in the second quarter. I like that plan. But fellas, Pacers, we gonna be 5-1. Pacers getting 1 game on us. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. All right.
At Boston, after Pacers.
Okay. I mean, the Pacers,
later, y'all.
Later. I mean, the Pacers are good. I'm not trying to. I'm not sleeping on the Pacers, man. They're a good basketball team. There's no doubt about that. The Pacers, they're a good team. So I'm not sleeping on them. But before we get there, let's talk about. I want to talk about Tibbs some more. I want to, because I argued all season long with Greg and with Sean. We battled back and forth. I still think Greg and Sean are the same person, but we battled back and forth. You know what I mean, about Tibbs.
I don't think they are. I seen them argue once.
That could be the same person arguing with themselves. Yeah, I mean, Greg and Sean are both crazy, so they might be arguing with themselves. Or he Might be arguing with itself. I don't know. But all season long, argue with them about Tibbs and Tibbs' philosophy. I never minded him playing guys minutes. I felt like the reason why guys played so many minutes is because he didn't believe in the bench, and I was okay with that. I didn't think we had the greatest bench, and that's the reason why I said that I didn't believe we had a championship roster, because I thought we needed to add more to the bench. We still got a ways to go. You know what I mean? Does Tibbs have trouble making in-game adjustments? Yes. But the playoffs are built for a coach like Tibbs because Tibbs can make adjustments game to game, right? That's how he makes adjustments. He may not be the best doing it in game, but when you come game to game, that's why he always talks about looking at the film. I got to look at I watch a game 2 and 3 times. He sees it and says, okay, now we've got to adjust this way. And I think that he's built for the playoffs in that manner, right? Because he can look at the game and make adjustments from game to game. You know what I mean? And maybe, people always talk about, well, what's his record, in the playoffs, this and that, boom, boom, boom. And nobody's a championship coach until they become a championship coach. And it takes, for some people get blessed with this type of a roster that's going to, what you add to it takes you to the championship. Some people have to build it. You know what I mean? And he's obviously, for the Knicks, he's built it. He's built it. And when you talk about it, when you coach a team, in order to make adjustments, you've got to know the personality of your players, the character of your players, who's going to step up in certain situations. You know what I mean? Who's going to be best in this situation or that situation. You got to know that. And it takes time to learn that. You know what I'm saying? So, and this team may not fully be there yet. Just imagine. I still believe this team is growing. It's going to be better next season. Look where they are now. And I believe they're going to be better next season, because I still think this team is growing and still has room for improvement. And look where they are now.
Man,
Yeah,
Tibbs is doing, I didn't mean to cut you off, Tony. Tibbs is doing this. Like, everybody keeps complaining and saying, like, he's running a 7-man, 8-man roster. Exactly. Imagine if next year we can actually add some complementary pieces to the bench.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a beautiful thing, man. All I know is, like, we just got to look at it for what it is. The only question that a lot of us, and I will say, I don't think this is far-fetched. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know. I can't go, my memory doesn't serve me that well to go back to how Tibbs's teams were in the, the playoffs with the Bulls. But in my opinion, this is the best playoff series I've seen Tibbs coach.
Okay.
Like, I think this is the most consistent I've seen him coach. Game 1, I think he did a great job. Game 2, I think he did a fantastic job. And I think throughout the series, he hasn't done anything for me to say, I don't think he coached that great in this series. Or why did Tibbs do this? Or why did Tibbs do? I can't really make a big deal in this series. I think he did fantastic. And when that's the whole thing. The point of us talking about Tibbs coaching on a certain way or not coaching a certain way is because we expect that he can do better. I mean, he's Tibbs. He won Coach of the Year twice. Like, it's not like he doesn't know what to do out there. It's just sometimes, for whatever reason, like I think Sim nailed it. The bottom line is he's just not great at making a lot of in-game adjustments. He definitely, when he has time, game to game, he's fantastic. And if you give him like a couple days off in between, he can come back with that crazy attention to detail when it comes to his game plan for the opposing team. But he's just, maybe that's just how his process works.
How he is, right?
I think he's actually grown this year. I think he's probably done more in-game adjustment this year than ever I've seen him since he's been here.
I don't know, Tony. I think last year he did a lot of in-game adjustment compared to previous years.
Well, last year I think he was grasping for straws, to be honest. A lot of the times, I think last year a lot of his adjustments was based off necessity.
Yeah.
There wasn't his like original thought. It was like, all right, he can't play. I gotta go with him. You know what I mean? Like, now, and when I say the adjustments, I'm not necessarily talking about substitutions as much, but maybe substitution patterns and rotations. I think he's done a lot this year. You know what I mean? Effective things that you could tell he made the choice to do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't based off of this guy's hurt, this guy's in foul trouble. He's stuck with the hot hand more than I've ever seen him do this year. You know what I mean? I think he still could do that more, even though this playoffs we haven't had many guys with the high hand other than Brunson. Like, this is really the best game we've played all playoffs.
Yeah. Let me get to a couple of super chats and then we get to Nick. We got Nick from Jersey on the phone. I want to make sure I get to Nick. We'll start off with Silent Sniper. Said it's crazy. The whole Knicks team from last year and this year are both in the conference finals. Yeah, I mean, that should tell you something about the front office and the team that's together.
That's what I was saying, sir.
You know,
and even the ones that aren't, you know what I mean? Like, you seen them progress throughout the regular season,
right?
You know what I mean? The RJs, the Quicklies, and the Grimes. You know what I mean? Like, everybody that was a part of this regime, if they're not here, they popped off. You know what I mean? And if they still here, they very influential, and the new guys as well, of course.
Yeah. Paris Duggar, thank you for the super chat. He said, micro coach Cat on when and how to get his offense, and then it'll be a championship. You know, I think being in, you know, this system here, he's still learning. You know, he's learning what the Knicks need from him. I think in these playoffs, Josh, you're about to get challenged. So, Uncle Fulio, you better be ready. As soon as I get off the phone with Nick, be going for it. But I think he's learning where he fits in with this team and what the team needs and how to provide what the team needs. You know what I mean? And that's part of chemistry. You know what I mean? You don't just step on the court and do it. Uncle Fulio said, although Boston dominated the play, the Knicks dominated the play over the Knicks in the first 3 games. The Knicks found a way to go up 2-1. Tibbs deserves credit. All the complaining from fans about minutes and rotations didn't really matter after all. They didn't. All the time, Greg and Sean was like, well, look at the Cleveland Cavaliers. They don't play these guys these many minutes. Look at the Celtics. They don't play these guys these many minutes. Look at this team and that team. They don't play these guys these many minutes.
Cancun.
You know what I mean? Where are they? They're not playing no minutes now.
Vacation.
And the Knicks are fully healthy. And guys are still playing those minutes. You know what I'm saying? Tibbs believes in guys being conditioned to be ready to play those minutes. So, Diaz said, what a time to be a Knicks fan. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. New York forever. First year together, and we're already on our way to the Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah, we got a lot of growing to do as well. And you know, hopefully we're not stopping there.
Let me tell you this, man. I get a kick out of this. His name is Andios.
Andios.
Like Dios mío. So he's Dominican. We get a kick out of it. We talk about it. Like, everybody says his name. Everybody says his name 45 different ways.
Right.
Adios.
Adios. Well, why didn't you say nothing?
Adios mio.
Yeah.
Canberry, thank you for the super chat. He said, Cat only had 3 assists for the series. I don't care. The Knicks won it. However, we win it. We win it. Whatever he needs us to, whatever we need him to do is what we want him to do. I don't care if he had 1 assist or no assist. To be honest with you. You know, remember, agenda-less basketball. Nick from Jersey, what's good, brother? How you feeling?
What's going on, Sam? What's going on, gentlemen? How you doing tonight?
Good.
Peace,
great.
man.
Doing great, man.
This is as good as it gets for quite a while.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is as good as it gets for a while. You know, we'll see what's gonna come next. We got some work to do. But you were right, Nick. You said the Knicks were they were finishing this series tonight, and they did it in grandiose fashion.
Yeah, it was a beautiful thing to see, and it just looked beautiful, aesthetically. The white jerseys, the green jerseys, this wire-to-wire domination, annihilation of the Boston Celtics. I don't even know where to begin. I just wanted to make 2 points, because you were talking about the coach and all the criticism of how the team is run. A good CEO doesn't do anything without getting the people under him in agreement with them. A good platoon commander in the military is not doing anything that a platoon sergeant doesn't agree to. Everything the Knicks do, the reason Tom Thibodeau has survived for 30 plus years as a coach in the NBA is because he forms his plan in agreement with his best players. This is Jalen Brunson's team. This is Jalen Brunson's offense. This is what they want to do. This is how the Knicks want to play. They don't want to be the Indiana Pacers. If they were the Indiana Pacers, it would take them 40 games to try to play like that. They want half-court offense. They want to focus on the defense. And when they get their defense going like they did today, that's when they score like they did today. They didn't shoot that well, and they won by 38.
Right.
This is a defensive team. That's the identity of the team. We're going to get stops, and then we're going to get easy buckets and get things going. And if we're not getting stops, we're going to go into our half-court offense, which is good basketball when you've got Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns. And that's why they won 50-plus games this year. And, that's it. I mean, they are able to get out in transition and get ball movement going. You said it before. They are at their best when Brunson gets the other guys going early. And if they're getting stops early, they're hard to beat. So that's what this focus of this team. And anytime I hear people talk about, shots or offense or spacing or any of this stuff, it's like it's missing the forest for the trees. This team has no problem scoring the ball when they're playing good defense.
Right.
So, that's the emphasis of this team. That's how the team wants to play. That's not Tom Thibodeau imposing that on the players. That's the whole team agreeing this is what we're going to emphasize. This is how we're going to be. This is our identity. And, that's why you see sometimes offensive moments where it looks like, why are we playing half-court ball? Why are we playing ISO ball? It's because they're not getting stops. They get like that when they're not getting stops.
Right.
But that kind of style is perfect for the playoffs. And it's perfect to win series game to game. And, that's it. I mean, that's my big point. Everybody should look at this series. The Knicks were 0-4 against Boston in the regular season. They figured them out defensively.
Mm-hmm.
And they were able to win 4 out of 6 against Boston. And, all the stuff about Tatum is look, they were up 3-1 with Tatum, and Boston gave up 2 20-point leads in games 1 and games 2, and everybody's upset about that. It's like, the Knicks made history for 2 straight back-to-back comebacks in the playoffs.
Right.
Be happy about that. They're talking about the net rating of the Knicks starting 5 being in a negative. It's like, are you kidding me? Look at the series. The Knicks starting 5 in the fourth quarter before this game was plus 14. So if the Knicks aren't playing good, how about the teams they're eliminating? Are they not playing good either? Would you rather be playing good and losing, or would you rather be, it's just hilarious. Like the criticism, I feel bad for a lot of these fans actually, because they're missing, they're not enjoying an all-time playoff run. Every single win, all 8 wins so far of these playoffs has been absolutely epic. This one was kind of like a cherry on top because it was wire-to-wire blowout. But, now they got 8 more. They're going to play Indiana. I think it goes 7. I think Knicks win in 7.
I take that. I'll take it. It's going to be a fun series to watch.
Yes, sir.
Fun series to watch. And we have what? 4 or 5 days. Series doesn't start till Wednesday. So,
Yeah. And the Knicks get to hang out with their family a little bit, get back into the gym, watch the tape, really focus in on studying the Pacers now. Totally forget about the Celtics. Data dump, all that stuff. Get rid of the Celtics out of your brain.
Right.
Focusing on the Pacers like a laser-like, which they're going to do. And the Pacers have been off now for more than a week. So, maybe they're going to come in a little bit cold, hopefully.
Yeah.
And the Knicks could ride this momentum to a Game 1 win.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. All right, Nick, thank you for your time, man. Appreciate you.
Take care, gentlemen.
Later. Peace.
Take it easy, man.
Yeah. I think evaluation. We've been evaluating the players all the way along throughout the show. I think the big takeaway from that is that they're playing, just playing the ultimate form of team basketball. Not worried about who's doing what, who gets
and lifting
what,
each other up.
lifting each other up. You know what I'm saying? Not worrying that, I only scored 6 points this game. Just wherever you need to fit in, they're fitting in. You know what I mean? And that's the best form of basketball you could play. That's winning basketball.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that when Bridges had that big game a couple games ago, then his post-game conference, he really just talked about his teammates. Lifting them up, telling them keep shooting, telling them stick with it. You know what I mean? And I thought that was so genuine. And if you listen to Cat, almost every interview, it's always shout out to my teammates. Shout out to my teammates. You know what I mean? They really have that energy where it's not about me. It's about us. You know what I mean? Like, so if I'm doing good, it's because they helping me do good, and vice versa.
Yeah. Lastly, let's talk about the series. Right, Knicks versus Pacers starts Wednesday. Tony, what are your thoughts about it, man? They're a team that likes to run. They got some inside scoring. They can shoot the ball from the outside. They can play. They're not the greatest defensive team. They're not like a super top 5, but they can defend. They're an all-around basketball team. They've had the best record in the NBA since like January or something like that. They got star point guard and Halliburton. What's your take on it?
I feel like if we could somehow come in with tonight's energy, I think we'll be A-okay. You know what I mean? Like, we got to get that bounce back mentality even before we lost, even before we lose, right? Like, not have to go down to get up. You know what I mean? So, like, quick starts, but attack first. I think we got to be the aggressor against them.
Yeah.
They're a decent defensive team, but that's not what they hang their hat on. You know what I mean? I think they have the ability to get tougher as the series continues. Mm-hmm. So I do think we got to strike early and often, and kind of try to get what we could get early in you know what I mean, Game 1 and moving forward.
Yeah. Ron?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that too. I think I'm really excited about this series because I think this gives the Knicks a chance for redemption and to basically shut up some of the people that don't understand basketball, that think that, the Pacers were the better team than the Knicks last year, which they weren't. We know why. But I think this gives the Knicks a chance to go out there and show improve. Now, I say that knowing that the Pacers are a better team this year than they were last year. I got to give them credit for that. They are a better team. So it's not like it's a walk in the park. I just think when it all stacks up, their team versus our team, I think the Knicks have the intangibles. We both got clutch players because Halliburton, when he wants to, can really turn it on. Well, not when he wants to, just when it happens, because sometimes you never know with him. So, but you got to watch that. And so, yeah, man, I think that Same thing that Tony said, and I think the Knicks got to continue what they've done in the last couple games. Like they've started to get off in the first, second quarter and not play from behind, which is great. They may have to figure out a way to, like in this case, what they did with Boston is like they sped up the pace. Against the Pacers, they may have to slow it down. I know somebody said that in the chat, and I was already thinking it. I agree, because the Pacers run, man. They up and down. They get you in transition. That's when Obi and these guys start to get busy, and then that leads to them kicking it out for open threes. Like that's what you got to stop that.
The messed up thing is you're really just trying to slow down their pace.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we're still trying to get stops and push, but we can't get caught on how they like to score off of makes. You know what I mean? They like to get a rebound and throw a full length pass.
Yeah, which
so
means
I think
we got to be intelligent with our shot taking. Right? If we're shooting crazy threes where no one's in rebounding position and those type of things, then we'll send them off to the races. So offensive rebounding could be a key in this series too, to keep them from running in transition.
And the other thing too is that running in transition, if they do it effectively, which I think that's their game plan anyway, that's what they do. But I definitely know they want to do that against the Knicks and the 7-man, 8-man rotation that we run out there. Right. It could get a little dicey a little bit.
I feel like the Knicks, they've figured out, like you said earlier, how to play defense with this team, and I feel like we're going to be able to slow them down.
Yeah, I agree, Sim, and I don't know if somebody said it on the last show I was on with you guys, or they said it on my show. I can't remember, but they, the point was each series has prepared us for the next. Or maybe that was with you guys. I feel like I don't know. I can't remember, but it's true. Like playing Detroit helped prepare us defensively and made us tougher to go up against Boston. Playing Boston, their high octane 3-point shooting is helping us go up against the Pacers.
Exactly.
Have a better game plan and how to execute it, because Boston was the number 1 team in the league in shooting threes, and Indiana not far behind. So
yeah, I can't wait for this. Jordan Smith in the chat.
He's back.
Call in. The number's up. You talking a lot of whatever about the Pacers.
He's waiting for the next show, son.
Yeah. Big Bubba, what's popping, man?
Sim.
Come on, man. Yeah, what's up?
I'm sorry, Sim.
Yeah, I know.
Thibodeau on the hot seat.
What's going on?
I don't want to speak as Big Bubba real quick. I want to speak as Isaiah.
Okay. Is that going to be better or worse? Is that better or worse? I don't know.
It's better, man. I just want to tell you something, son.
What's up?
I'm very proud of you, man.
You should be.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of Tony, man.
What? You ain't proud of me? What the hell, Big Bubba?
Yeah, come on. Yeah, I'm proud of you too, big bro.
Yeah, man, I don't know, man. I hear you.
I know where you started off with this. I remember we used to come on here. The Knicks would only win 20 games, 30 games.
Yeah, for real.
And you, all of us, will bring the energy to make that season special, even when we won 20, 30 games.
Right.
And I always remember telling you that when the Knicks be good, man, this channel's gonna blow up. And this is really special to me because that was like what? I mentioned what, 2017, son?
2017. 2017.
It's almost 10 years, man.
Yes, sir.
But I'm just proud of you, man. I'm proud because just because I know how you wanted this channel to be, like a family and have a community of people to be themselves and communicate. And listen, man, I just remember just the legendary shows we used to have, man. And I'm just very proud of you because we came from 20 wins to the goddamn Eastern Conference Finals.
That's it.
17 wins.
We're looking at 17 wins, and we're looking to go farther, man. Your take on the Knicks versus Indiana. I don't want to cut you off with that, but
Nah. I just had to say that, Sim, because I just want to
appreciate
tell you that I know we joke and everything, but I just want to tell you I'm proud of you,
Yeah,
man.
I appreciate that.
A lot of the people on this chat that's been here know just what we do, where we started from to where we at now. So I just not to give you your flowers for that. Sim, man, listen, let's go. Indiana's hot. If people don't think, I don't want people to think the finals because Indiana's hot.
I ain't
This
thinking
is
about
gonna
the
be a
final.
hard battle, son.
I'm thinking about Indiana. That's it.
I'm thinking about Indiana too, son. Because
That's it.
Tyrese Halliburton, the worst thing they ever did. I don't know why they did it, but they came out with that survey that all the players called him overrated. He said bet, and then he's been knocking everybody out. Sim, like you said, the rebound and all that. Listen, like what's the name said? Every series has been preparing us for the next series.
Mm-hmm.
This Pistons got us to beat. Pistons made us realize our toughness. Boston made us realize that we got to play our defense, and we got to close out on shooters. But man, listen, I need everybody to be on cylinder. This not a game. I mean, it's a game, but we have a chance to do something that all of us have been talking about. You know, being a Knicks fan, being clown like you like the Knicks and all this. Man, Sim, all that can be put to bed. You take care of Indiana, go to the finals. Listen, this right here, man, Sim, it's going to be tough, Sim, because they got shooters,
we know.
got a decent bench.
Yeah.
Tyrese Halliburton's hot. Miles Turner's always a problem. But man, let me tell you something, man. I'm ready for this. It's going to be a battle. This could go 7.
Well,
This
I'm expecting it to go 7. It's the Eastern Conference Final. I'm expecting it to go 7. You know, and we got Game 7 at the Garden.
We got 4 games in the Garden, son.
Yeah, you know, so
we got 4 games. So we gotta take care of home. And to me, you gotta steal at least one from Indiana. You gotta take care of your house. And you gotta steal one. And you gotta steal at least one, maybe 2. I mean, if you steal 2, you have a very good chance to win the series. But you gotta steal one. But you gotta take everything starts with game 1. Set the tone.
No doubt.
Game 1.
No. Yeah.
So I know you got a lot of people wanting to call in.
Nah, actually, I'm about to head off.
Oh, you about to head off?
We had to catch them on another one.
I didn't. You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? I was so nervous, man, because they checked because I'm in the academy, and they switched our shift to work in second. I'm like, yo, this is crazy, yo. The day the Knicks play, I gotta go to second shift for this training, and I was nervous the whole day because we can't have our phones. I'm nervous the whole night. I'm like, yo, when they told us we could leave, I ran to my car, man, looked at the score. I said, oh, here we go, man.
Yeah, I know that felt. I know you was happy with that. You didn't want to go to the car and cry.
What time you got out?
Let me say, I had to be here because I got to be here early. I got to be here at 3:30, and they let us leave at 11:15.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. It's so crazy, Sim, because the teachers can have their phones. I thought I heard someone say the Knicks choked. I was like, oh my God, man. So I thought I heard that. I ran to my car, man. Listen, son, I wanted to cry, man, because I'm just like, yo, what we've been through as a Knicks fan, man, it's crazy, man. All the clowning, all the everything, man. People just look at you crazy when you say you're a Knicks fan. How you like them lose your franchise, man? This is an amazing feeling, man. And like I said, so you deserve all the flowers, man. Like I said, man, I remember when it was me, you, Tony, Guillermo, Mark, who's the Prince? Wait, was it Prince? Was it?
Yeah, Prince.
The Prince Bun.
Prince,
man.
Prince
We had a crazy. I forgot the chat I forgot the thing we used to use it. I forgot what it was called, man. What was it called?
I forgot. I don't know.
Something with an F.
I just remember those days, man. Just being on that joint, just talking while you was on the show, man, and you let us. And then sometimes you let us He put us on live while we arguing about some crazy stuff in there, man.
Right.
But it's just those were the best. Those were great days, man. And I'm just proud of you, man, because you deserve this. And guess what you're gonna be doing for the next couple of weeks, son?
You already know.
Shows about the Eastern the Eastern Conference Finals with the Knicks.
Exactly. Well,
let's
big brother,
go, baby. MBK for life.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir.
All right, peace. New York Bro 99 said you got to change the intro now. You're right, because Obi's in that intro. I got to change the intro before the first game. I got to change it.
You got homework.
And Randall's in it. Got to change that.
Wait,
thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Yeah.
I was gonna say, is Hartenstein in it?
I don't think so.
I was gonna say, we leave him till we figure out what happens.
Yeah. Well, fellas, I'm head off for the night. Tony, I'll get with you about Double L. But anyway, folks, I appreciate your time. Knicks advanced to the Eastern Conference Finals. What can you do? Celebrate. We out of here, folks. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place to tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.